So, welcome back to this second day of the Uganda Chess Championship. This is the tournament that searches for the Uganda Chess Champion in East Africa. So, this was a very prestigious event. Also, on the second day, I happened to pass by, said hi to some few friends, and it was a very nice game, nice day. Otherwise, it was a game full of upsets. We saw some kids putting down some good seniors. We saw many FMs being taken down. It was a very stormy day for them. Some of them, like Candid Master, Egesa Emmanuel. We saw some FMs like even Harold Wanyama, the top seed in the tournament, also succumbed to some challenging draw. We saw some other FMs who are still holding up, but I think one of the guys who found it rougher was FIDE Master. He's also the world representative for Uganda, FIDE Master Haruna Subuga, who had a very tough day. That is the guy in the picture. And please note that many of the guys may not know that Kamoga Rajab, that guy is the defending Uganda champion 2022, as he got his title. Another beautiful game today. This is a game from the chess president of Uganda. This guy is called, this is engineer Mwaka Emmanuel. This guy still has the guts to play. When we thought that he had lost it all, he still has the good game in him. I hope he'll maintain it. So this guy had the black pieces. He was playing some other guy, a namesake of mine called Ivan Mogisha. This guy really felt the wrath of this chess president. So Mwaka Emmanuel, the president, with the black pieces, and this guy Ivan with the white pieces. So we see this guy started with c4. Ivan played c4, which is the English opening, c4, remember? And then he responded with the knight to f6. This is a standard system, the English opening and Anglo-Indian defense. So we see the game continuing on pretty standard, opening up for the bishop either way. So we see this guy Emmanuel strikes into the center immediately at this point, and then we see the knight coming out, and then we see this b6 opening for the bishop, the fianchetto, and then we see the center being busted, and this is pretty standard. Black is holding the center pretty firm, and there's no need to rush at this point. Everything was pretty standard, pretty normal, pretty well put. The pieces come out pretty fast, and everything just went on normally until the game got more into a launch pad at this point, when everything is pretty standard and fine. c6 is seen on the board. We see that this center is pretty well held, and everything moves on pretty standard. I liked how these guys brought up their rooks, and then some maneuvers started from Emmanuel. Trying, of course, I really think that he really wanted to see his knights coming back in the center pretty firm. I liked this pawn push b4 from Ivan. This was a very nice move as he expanded on the queen side and everything. I like the queen b3. Everything is pretty fine. There's nothing new at this point. Of course, now these guys are totally new territories, new waters at this point. This position seems to be very new, and we don't have any other game in the database at this point. So we see that I think he was a little bit more ambitious to push up b5, but nevertheless Emmanuel just ignored, advanced the pawn, and we see some maneuvers. The queen is kicked back. Of course, he falls back, trying to hold on, and then the knights come in back, and some maneuvers. At this point, Black tries to put his knight. Of course, he wants probably to provoke this, which he thought is a weakness. At this point, there's some suggestion of the engine when Black can throw in this knight to h3, but of course he didn't want that. He brought back the knight, and then we see some beautiful attacks and centralization of the pieces. These guys are just maneuvering. Of course, they're trying to tire out each other. Please note that this is a classical game and there's no need to rush. It's very important to always hold your position pretty carefully. Any slight mistake can lead to a fatal disaster. So let's see how this guy holds until this guy in black, Emmanuel, senses that this pawn is pinned. Why not maneuver my knight around, and then the queen gets out of the way so that he doesn't get all those advantages to just jump and fork the queen and the rook. Anyway, at this point, black had to go with this knight to b3, which was more forcing and trying to, of course, the black-white camp would really be very disturbed. But of course, he goes for a slightly less aggressive knight d3, and then we see, of course, the rook trying to be saved. But then there's an engine suggestion at this point. Of course, in the game, Emmanuel went with this queen, and of course putting some pressure on the other on the rook down there. And of course, there's much. We can see that white is already into much problems at this point. But there's an engine suggestion which I found very interesting at this point, that there was an immediate rook sacrifice. Of course, at this point, this is an engine line when, of course, some brilliancy and tactical vision was required to follow up this line when there's a rook sack. And of course, this rides on the fact that these pieces are all really very pathetic. Look at all white's pieces, very misplaced. I think that was very unfortunate for this guy, Ivan. That was not very good for see all these knights just... he probably thought that the game is more locked up and he didn't expect such a blasting. Of course, this would have been a very beautiful position. Nevertheless, at this point, black didn't go for that blasting of the rook sacrifice, which would have been more explosive. Of course, he went for the silent and positional queen g4. Of course, at this point, Ivan thought that he could give away the rook and survive the storm. Nevertheless, it was quite too late. Then came the brilliancy. The brilliant move at this point also still sacrificing the rook. Of course, he's riding on the point that if you take the pawn, which he took, and then there's that second rook sacrifice, and this was when really things were starting to get wild. And then at this point, of course, he brought in the bishop. I like how these pieces are all just coming into the game at this point. Look at how all these pieces are now coordinating, and look at how horrible these knights are. This is when we see that it's very, very important to hold such positions with precision, and all your pieces being into play. This is when the tactics easily flow easily in such positions. Okay, so we see this rook taking up, and then we just see this guy Ivan being busted move after move, and this was very horrible until when he took the pawn. Now he threw in the towel when he saw this beautiful move opening up for the bishop, and this guy said, I think this is enough. This is enough for the day. He packed his bags and went back home. Okay, see you tomorrow for round 3, and this is the Uganda Chess Open live updates from Comrades Chess. Bye.